Mark Freeman, Community Housing, or CHI. CHI stands for Community Housing Initiatives, Inc. We're a 501c3. Been there for 15 years. My title is CFO, and my responsibilities are audit, tax, development, keeping them on budget or tracking budget. Well, we are Iowa's largest affordable housing developer. We own 1,600 units throughout the state of Iowa, roughly 200 in Spencer and about 400 in Northwest Iowa. Mostly used income tax credits to help fund the development of projects or apartments. We have Des Moines as a regional office, Spencer, Sioux City, Cedar Rapids, and Fairfield. We've strengthened our resident services department. We've seen kind of an uptick in that need, so we've attacked that. But housing, I mean, there's a housing shortage everywhere, especially affordable. I don't think there is a typical project, honestly. We do historics like the middle school here. We do new construction, we do rehab, pretty much run the gamut. So we identify location is probably our first focus, just because we want to kind of still stay in that regional concept. And then once we get the location, we see if it works. We run it through our models. Once it meets our smelt test and we can move forward with the project, we apply for tax credits typically through Iowa Finance Authority. In that process, in that application process comes in Northwest Bank. They'll give us a commitment letter because we do have to have financing commitments, which I'm very grateful with them because it's 18 months, maybe 24 months out, and they're committing to those terms. So once we are awarded tax credits, we go out and basically get an investor that will pay us for the tax credits, and then we start construction or rehab.
Well, the bank's had a relationship with them pretty much since the conception of the entity, and I took over as a commercial lender on it about 10 years ago. There's a lot that goes into knowing the customer and the opportunities and the challenges with that, and that's really been a beneficial part for me working with Mark because he does a great job of explaining it. He understands it. He's lived it for so many years.
One thing that Paul does a great job with, and I respect him a lot for this, is that he gets to know us and knows our business. Besides just reading the balance sheet, he digs in and tries to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. If he has a question, he'll just call me, which I like, or I can call him if I have a question too. So it's very open. Well,
what's really cool about them is they're a nonprofit organization. So that really holds them to the intentions of what they're doing, right? They want to serve the community, whatever community they're in. What's really cool about that on another level is they're serving the underserved. They're helping those individuals out that, may not have a place readily available to stay, and it's something that they wouldn't be able to afford otherwise without the work that CHI does on these projects.
I would say that they're more personable. Like I said, we can call each other 3 or 4 times a day. It's not uncommon if I have a question or if he does, and he takes the time to actually understand our business.
We're investors into the community, right? And we're investors into these businesses. Understanding the business without being intrusive on the business is really an important balance, and the more we understand the business, the more we can help them, avoid challenges, pitfalls, and then take advantage of different opportunities.
They're big enough to where they can go the whole state. They're not restricted at all, versus some of the smaller banks would be. So they go statewide with us.
Well, community housing, they do an enormous amount of projects. I mean, they're doing 1 to, I would say, maybe 3 or more projects at varying levels every single year. So they always have something going on. And we've been fortunate to be a part of a number of those throughout many years now. Besides the actual rehab or construction projects, which are immense in their own right, they're managing all these properties that they've made come to reality. And again, it's an immense amount of units. It's hundreds, if not thousands, of tenants, and that's a tremendous amount for anyone to manage, and they do so extremely well.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend them. Just a quick story. This summer with the flooding, I think, caused most of it, but we had some fraud on our accounts. Never had in the past, ever. We called Northwest Bank as soon as we spotted it, and there was somebody there that day, that afternoon actually. They reached out to us after we got everything cleared up, which took maybe a week, they offered us two different solutions to help prevent or at least minimize some of the fraud that could happen going forward.
Value add that they bring to the communities, and these types of projects would not happen without having experts with the resources available to tackle them, because inherently an individual wanting to take a project like this, it just wouldn't pencil out. So without using these programs and having the skill set to do it, people would be left out in the street, literally.